What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Talking Elite Fitness. I am Sean Woodland, joined as always by Lauren Khalil. Lauren, what's up?
Not much, just riding the high of the Backstreet Boys concert, but more on that later.
My condolences. And featuring Tommy Marquez. Tommy, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. Life is good. I did not get to go to the Sphere, but you know what? I had my own personal Sphere experience at home.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
I'm kidding. I just made that up.
All right. Well, today we're going to talk about some headlines that are going on, and then we are going to, we have our top 6 questions going into the 2025 CrossFit Games in the beautiful city of Albany, New York. But before we get to anything like that, we need to thank our sponsors for today. And first up, Victory Grips. So Victory Grips, I'm a sucker for a good pair of grips, because anytime you get me hanging from a bar doing some kind of gymnastics, like, it's just not, good things are not going to happen. All right. So I like me a good pair of grips because they make a huge difference for me. So Victory Grips just dropped a new line of rubber grips that are amazing, and they are called Conquer. So they're not your average grips. Conquer is the result of everything that Victory Grips has learned over the years, refined into one elite product. Victory's Conquer grips hit the perfect balance of thickness, comfort, and protection. They're not too bulky, not too thin. They're just right, so you get durability without sacrificing feel. These grips are engineered specifically for no chalk training. That's got to make all the affiliate owners out there happy. You don't have to be carrying chalk around and getting all over the floor.
Free.
Yeah, even on the slickest bars. You don't need it because Conquer locks you in. The interior is sweat absorbing and slip resistant. Let's face it, we've all had those grips that get all sweaty and they slip all over your hands and you just want to take them off because now they're not doing any good. Not the Conquer grips. Okay, your hands stay secure and protected rep after rep. So pair all that with Victory's patented design and you've got a grip that gives your hands a real edge. VictoryGrips.com, and you can use our code TEF to save yourself some money on the Conquer grips. So check them out.
Look at these hands.
Right. Looking seriously. I did
free, baby.
Dude, I did a 20-minute one last night. Okay. And it was like every round you did 10 pull-ups and you also did 10 chest to bar with a couple others in there. Okay. So I was doing a lot of hanging from the bar, not a tear in sight. Hands felt great. Good. Yeah. Oh, it was shaking. That thing was, you could hear it. Yeah, I'm like,
loosen the screws, baby.
Yeah, I put my son to bed and then I had to come out and work out. And then I was like, oh man, I'm going to wake him up with
I love the Conquer and that you don't need to put chalk on, but I have one grudge to them. I no longer get a chalk break. So now I just lean over and I grab the water for a water break.
This is what you do. You put them, like, you turn the grips like out of you turn them the other way so they're out of the way of your hands or whatever. Just something to fiddle with. You just adjust the straps.
That's to kill time.
I almost short circuited today because yesterday we had bar muscle ups, and a couple days ago we had bar muscle ups. I hopped up for the first time to try these Conquer grips. I almost over pulled, because I'm not used to having that kind of traction with them. And I was like, there's no way with no chalk these are going to work. Hopped up, whoop, right up. Everyone was like, oh my gosh. And basically next day I'm like, all right, test one. Big sets of toes to bar, 15 to 20 every round. Hop up again, just locked in. Man, I felt like an orangutan just hanging out. Like I could do this all day, just swinging.
Yeah.
One of my gym goers saw it today. She goes, "What are those grips, and how can I get them?" I was like, "Not only that, I can get you 15% off, honey."
Nice.
It was pretty impressive, but similar to Lauren. I went to go chalk, and I realized I don't need it, and I just kind of like wandered around aimlessly, like my dad in Home Depot on a Saturday. Like, what do I do now? Well, there's just too many options, but still works great.
Yeah, they're great. It's like when I'm rattling sets of 10 towards the end of a workout, which for a man my size, because I know most people look at me and they immediately think former gymnast, right? I'm like, well, I can see why you would think that, But
that's exactly what you look like, Sean.
That's like a decent set for me when I'm tired, and it's because of those grips. Like they lock you in. So check them out, victorygrips.com. The code's TEF, 15% off. All right, let's get into our headlines for today. And there's a couple, like just really fast, we want to go through. The first is that Danielle Brandon, as many of you know, has switched coaches. She's going from Brute to Adam Knifer. Of course, Adam Knifer, been around forever, helped mold Justin Medeiros into a CrossFit Games champion. And this is not the first time that Danielle has switched coaches, like at the kind of the 11th hour going into the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, no, back in 2022, in the final stages, I guess, leading up to those games, went from Underdog Athletics and Justin Kotler to Brute Strength at the time. Kind of came out of nowhere, felt like it was a bit of a surprise, and it was super late. One of the big questions was, all right, well, how is this going to affect her performance at the games, especially coming off of 2021, where she was essentially sequestered the entire time. Goes out, has her best games yet, 4th place, does awesome. And I think, the main focus for me on this is, if you watch the Rad Tapes documentary, the DBE one, it's very clear that Danielle is someone who, amidst any sort of chaos or conflict or change in her life, she has found a way to kind of find her spot, find her channel, and still find success, right? In the midst of what other people might find are distractions or things like that, in a way that, like, or disruptive is probably a better word. So new coach just for the games, only goes through Sunday of the games. The coach that she's going to, and Adam Knifer, is, I've always said this before, for someone that has the accolades that he does under his belt, he doesn't get enough credit for what he's done. And from, by all accounts, it's been a amicable transition between camps, and I would not be surprised to see Danielle do excellent there as well. So, I on the surface level, this seems like a bigger deal than maybe it might actually be in terms of like what shows on the competition floor. So,
yeah, it's not like she's just grabbing somebody off the street, like, here, come coach me. Adam Knifer, as you said, and I'm glad you brought that up, does not get enough credit for everything he's accomplished. And the guy has been around almost as long as anybody in the space, and doing it at a high level for a long time as well.
Yeah, and Tommy, like you said, Coach L had a fluid transition with her, making sure that Adam Knifer was up to date and up to speed with everything for Danielle. So honestly, I don't think that it's going to negatively impact her performance, because Tommy, like you said, she's somebody that, if I was to bet on somebody who performs well under pressure and almost like uses like a chip on her shoulder as fuel, she would definitely be that person.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we also know that, we know 2 now events of the CrossFit Games. So we know the first one, and now we know individual event 2. Look at this.
Whoop, there it is.
You're going to start with 20 wall walks, then 10 dumbbell shoulder to overhead, 70 pounds for the women, 100 for the men. Yeah. 20 double under crossovers, 30 toes to bar. Then we're going 20 double under crossovers, 10 dumbbell shoulder to overheads, 20 dumbbell crossovers, 30 toes to bar, 20 double under crossovers, and then we close out with 10 dumbbell shoulder to overheads. The time cap on this thing, 10 minutes. I ain't getting through those wall walks in 10 minutes.
Speaking of Danielle Brandon, I think her and Alexis Raptis, and I guess Ariel Lowen, are going to do really well with this one.
Yeah, they're going to smack this one for sure. And just the shoulder fatigue, shoulder interference just screams here. The heavy dumbbells with the 170. This feels kind of like there was the chipper back in 2017 with the single arm shoulder overhead, but it was a little bit more.
Was that mixed. The all dumbbell semifinal or regionals?
That was the year the all dumbbell regionals. Yep. And then that was the games with Cara and Tia kind of in the middle of all of it. I don't know. I just get this vibe from it. It's not a ladder chipper. I would call it like a roller coaster chipper, right? Where like you get up to a point, you kind of fluctuate a little bit back to those same events, and then kind of go back again, but you never quite finish. You never like hit the same starting point with those wall walks.
Yeah. Man, that's a nasty way to just pre-fatigue everything. 20 wall walks. That's the most they've ever, I think, in any event that has been programmed in any competition by CrossFit that they have done consecutively.
Sean, how long would it take you to do 20
I said it would, probably a long time. Like that's because, again, I know people think I'm a former gymnast. I get that a lot. Yeah. But you get my big ass upside down like that with that shoulder stability, and I'm trying to stabilize that, and then I'm just like doing that. I'm doing that. Oh God, on the way down, like trying to just get credit for the rep.
Do you flop down or do you control
No,
down?
I try to control. I try to like take a real big step with my hands, almost out of control. I actually did wall walks the other day at the gym, and I did okay. But yeah, 20 would be. That's a no, thank you.
Getting down's not the problem.
Yeah,
let's just say that.
Exactly. Yeah,
gravity. I got gravity on my side with that.
Gravity is going to take its effect, and I'll do just fine with that part. Yeah, it's a matter of just like not killing myself on the way down. But that's, my shoulders were cooked in that workout, so that's
the thing. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it would take me 3 minutes to do that at least.
All 20.
All 20, yeah.
No,
a couple of years ago, Training Think Tank had posted something that the average elite athlete would do a wall walk in 7 seconds.
I think it's faster now.
If there's but assuming there's no break at all for all 20, somebody do the math.
Well, that's what? 140 seconds, so it's a little more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, so, wow.
There's going to be a lot of people getting capped by this one.
Yeah.
Well, plus I don't know. I'm sure people have been practicing the crossovers, but have they been practicing them this much under this fatigue level?
With that big old dumbbell.
It's
and like, let's be honest, like a set of 30 toes to bar. There's 2 sets of 30 toes to bar in there that are just kind of like a sneaky high rep chunk of midline and grip. After having done all this stuff, like your hands are going to be jacked up, shoulders going to be fried. I do like that they announced the double under crossover event.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're going to bring back something that has some level of like controversy around it in terms of its appropriateness, I think announcing that it's going to come back, and then announcing it now. So I think it almost works to CrossFit's favor. If you're like, hey, we have to do the unknown and unknowable sometimes, because otherwise, if we don't, athletes will adapt too quickly. Mm-hmm. And you can almost use this as a proof. Like, see what happens when we announce it a couple of weeks ahead of time, and how proficient. Like, granted, athletes were kind of practicing these a little bit, but I wouldn't say it was super, super common. It wasn't part of the Instagram highlight reels constantly. You'd see it here and there, but enough to where, like, the athletes are going to look fluid, I think, in that. Yeah.
So what do you think the split of athletes who finish this under the cap and athletes who get time capped is going to be?
I mean, assuming we got 30 athletes? How many do we have? 30 or 40?
30.
Oh, man. I don't want to say half the field, but I'm going to say it's going to be close.
I was thinking around half.
It's going to be close. I could see around half.
Yeah, for some reason, like 18 stands out as a number each side.
Yeah. Like, more than half.
Yeah.
Over under at 17.5, says Tommy Marquez.
What am I getting? Minus 110? Is there a little juice on there for the casino?
Yeah, that's your department. I just set the over under. You can just put all the incentives in there. But we know the first 2. So, and we'll see if they announce any more. But I'm with you. I like the fact that they put this one out there pretty early so that people can prepare, and they can, really have a chance to showcase their abilities when they get onto the big stage.
Yeah, no, there's times for, I guess we also get caught up. This goes back to my last point, in a singular form of adaptation, right? How quickly do you adapt on the fly? And I guess if you look at time as a component, there are multiple waves of adaptation to some extent. Like, in the immediacy, how quickly do you adapt in the immediacy? How quickly do you adapt with a couple of weeks, with 1 week, with a full training ramp up? And all of those, I think, you can vary by athletes. And I think we're at the point with the caliber of athletes for the most part here that the multiple weeks of practice can get you pretty competent, and then raw fitness starts to come back into the equation. And so you kind of tip the scales there, and it's a unique blend of programming that I think brings it back into the fold. So I also like it because this is a second iteration of us seeing the movement. So I think it'd be cool.
All right. Well, another thing, and this is regarding the games, but the age group games, is that Grim, jeez. Jim Reapers announced as the apparel, belt, and sleeve partner for the age group games.
Well, I think that's kind of what they're going for, right, Sean?
Yeah.
That's the dad pun,
dude,
right?
I love their motif. I've seen. I'm like, that is my big fan.
So it sounds like they'll be outfitting the apparel for the age groupers. I know there was some drama about whether or not the age groupers were getting sports bras, but if I remember correctly, last year there was complaints around the sports bras and undergarments anyways. So the decision was just like, you can wear whatever you want under those undergarments. That way you don't have to worry about labels and all this other stuff. And then they're just providing tops, bottoms, basic kit stuff. So they've added Justin Medeiros and a few other big name athletes. So looks like they're trying to make a push.
I don't know if you're aware of this or not, Tommy. The Masters athletes like to complain. As a Masters athlete,
really?
They we just,
I love you guys.
Yeah, that's what we do.
It makes me think of a quote that one Pat Sherwood said about Marston one time at his birthday. I think it was one of Marston turning, I think it was maybe when Marston turned 30.
All right.
And we're all sitting around at the games in Wisconsin. And they're like, gosh, Mars, you're turning 30? He's like, yeah. He's like, can you imagine when you're 60? Nothing's been right in 30 years. And basically just kind of giving Marston guff about how much he complains and how it's only going to get worse as he gets older. Yep. And I was like, yep, that's spot on.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Hey, the older you get, the more particular you are, the more you know what you like, know what you don't like.
Yeah, and the more you know, things used to be better. They just used to be better. Always.
they just did.
Everyone reaches a point, and there's no there's a slow realization, but then you get to the point where you're like, yeah, everything sucks now, and it was better back in my day. And that's why you don't hang out with younger people. That's why your circle of friends gets smaller, because you realize that young people don't get it, and all you're going to do is ruin their fun, and they're going to remind you of how bad everything is now.
Yeah, you hit critical mass for new things.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. With that being said, try to keep an open mind, people. Always try to learn new things, right?
Of course.
All right.
Absolutely.
And then finally, World Fitness Project Tour Stop 2 qualifiers. Tommy, what can you tell us about that?
Well, they had the second qualifier in July. Things have just wrapped up. I believe stuff is getting finalized as we speak, or it's just been finalized. And so they'll be announcing it after some video review. This is the last qualifier for the season for World Fitness Project. So the quote unquote qualifier for Copenhagen is the athletes that have the most points accumulated. Mm-hmm. So the points you've accumulated through the first two stops is what gets you into the various divisions for Copenhagen. So basically they use the leaderboard after Mesa moving forward. So I mean, there's an interesting mix of new athletes and more people involved. On the men's side, Nick Matthew, right now the leaderboard shows Nick Matthew, Tudor Magna, Annual Kai, Colin Bossard, Miko Leorg, Jack Farlow, Nate Ackerman, Ty Jenkins, and Julius Kaiser in the pro divisions. Mm-hmm. For the men, Challenger, you have Fabi Benito, Roldan Goldbaum, Tola, Briant Guillaume, Chris Habara. So some pretty recognizable names, even as far as games qualifications that have gone the step below. On the women's side, in the pro division, Jamie Simmons, Annika Greer, Uda Lundegvam, Andrea Solberg, part of that Norway contingent that did really good at the first event. Jennifer Muir, who won the Challenger division in the previous one, has now made it into the pro. It's really good for her. Sydney Mikulishin, Ella Wilkinson, Kyra Milligan, Hannah Black, Elena Karatala, Var Mo, the trio of the Norway made it back into the pro division. Now, in the the challenger division, one spot out. Lydia Fish, who we spoke to last week, Linda Caseman, Matilda Garnes, Trista Smith, Lexi Neely, Emily Rethwell, Paige Powers, Nurture Bleeker, another level of athlete just below that. So pretty consistent group as far as one tour stop to the next, with some new athletes popping in there. And it's cool to see Jamie Simmons back up there. I know she wasn't able to do the first one in Indianapolis, but hopefully she can make it out to Mesa too. So I'm still mixing it up. And I mean, she won the qualifier, so still got a whole lot of fitness left. Was
it 2016 the year she won the Open and then went team? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Pretty good.
And I remember a lot of people being like, and this was the time before, like, I think fitness social media really had its hold on people, right? Because there was a lot of questions like, is this woman legit? Like, this girl from New Zealand, or from, I guess, the UAE via New Zealand, is she legit? And then I remember that year, I want to say it was it might have been the burpee thruster workout was the last workout, and her video came in, which you needed to verify like and secure the overall open lead. And I remember all of us gathered around to see it and looked, and you're like, oh, she's legit.
Yeah.
Like,
this is no doubt on that one. Thank you for confirming that.
Yes, exactly. So good to see her still kind of mixing it up. I know she's had some years where she's been injured, some things getting in the way, but yeah.
What's the date of that event in Mesa? It's at the end of August, right? Late August?
Yeah, it is. It is the weekend of August 27th.
August 27th. Okay. And then the finals, Copenhagen, that's right around Christmas time, correct?
It is the
week before Christmas.
Yeah, it finishes up the weekend before Christmas.
Be a festive time.
Yeah, go see a night market in Denmark.
Why not?
Great time to be out there.
Yeah, those Christmas markets.
That'd be great.
Can't beat them.
Yep. You're gonna have to give me in some cold gear.
Yeah, for sure. Woo, it's gonna be rough. Okay, well, those are the headlines for today. Okay, before we get into kind of the meat of what we want to talk about today, we want to thank our other sponsor for today's show, and that is Balance of Nature. And listen, if you're like me and you try to follow the CrossFit nutrition methodology, eat meats and fruits and vegetables, you're probably, the category that you're missing out on is going to be the fruits and vegetables. All right. Well, don't worry, because Balance of Nature has you covered, because you can get 31 ingredients from fruits and vegetables with Balance of Nature. Okay. They have ingredients of whole fruits, vegetables, spices, and fibers, recognizable whole ingredients in their Balance of Nature supplements. The fruit supplements is made of ingredients like whole papaya, whole apple, whole mango, and whole strawberry. They have a veggie supplement that's made of ingredients like whole celery, whole spinach, whole cauliflower, and whole shiitake mushroom. And then they also have the fiber and spice supplement, which is awesome. You just mix it and drink it. It's great. It's made of ingredients like whole apple, whole psyllium, husk, whole cinnamon, and whole turmeric. 47 ingredients of fruits, vegetables, spices, and fiber. So listen, you may not be cooking up the veggies like you should, but now, thanks to Balance of Nature, you can get that into your system, and you can be more balanced in your nutrition. Because look, guilty as charged. I don't do enough veggies. I need to. Okay, but and now thanks to Balance of Nature, they got me covered. So if you go to balanceofnature.com and you use our code TEF, you're going to save 35% on your first order and get a free tub of their fiber and spice supplement. That's balanceofnature.com. Use the code TEF and save yourself a lot of time in cooking up those veggies and making sure they're in the meal prep. All you got to do is get your Balance of Nature. Good to go. All right.
Good on the road. Good when you're home. Pop the pills in the morning. Open them up. Mix them in a shake.
Little fiber and spice mixed into like a warm drink in the morning time.
Holiday in a cup. I know it's not holiday season, but
no, we're gonna have that debate soon too, because pumpkin spice latte season is a matter of weeks away now.
Tommy, did I not talk about that at Q&A today?
Did you?
Sean, I said 4th of July is over. It's pumpkin spice.
Oh, give me a break. No.
It's basically the new year at this point, so it's definitely pumpkin spice latte
Stop
season.
It was 90 degrees outside.
No, stop.
I don't care.
No
I'm still drinking the pumpkin spice.
No,
got the candles going.
But you can get your fiber and spice. That's allowed. As long as it's from Balance of Nature. Balanceofnature.com. TEF is the code. You're going to save 35% on your first order and get free fiber and spice supplement as well. All right. What we wanted to talk about today, we've got a couple weeks, so 3 shows left before we get into the CrossFit Games. So we wanted to do our top questions going into the CrossFit Games. We're going to do buy or sell for both the men and the women in the coming weeks, but I always like top questions, top storylines, things like that. So let's start with, I think, what is a big one, and that is, will the tragedy from last year have a lingering effect? Will people on site, I will not, I'm not going to be there, but will people still be feeling that, or are we far enough away? And I remember that was the question that we had, immediately after the games last year as we went into Rogue and Tier Wadapalooza SoCal. I mean, I got that reversed, but it felt like after Tier Wadapalooza SoCal that it was okay to compete again. But since this is obviously the first games that we've had, I just wonder if maybe there's going to be some lingering effect. Maybe there won't be, but it is something that definitely interests me.
Go ahead, Lauren.
I think yes, but I think it would be different if we were back in Fort Worth. I think the fact that we're in a new venue, and I don't want to be insensitive when I say this, but I think it helps. It makes it feel different, the same way that like any new CrossFit competition feels different when you go to a new venue. Do I think there'll still be lingering effects? For sure, especially for the CrossFit Games athletes that competed at the games last year. I think also for the coaches and the managers, and even, if any of the spectators were there last year, I think that there will still be those feelings and some of those emotions of, I can't believe it's been a year. But I think for the majority of it, because I think for the CrossFit Games, when it's at a new venue, a new location, you're going to have so many new spectators that didn't experience it, aren't as close to it. Maybe, God forbid, maybe don't even know what happened because they're a new fan to the sport. So I think that it's definitely going to have somewhat of a split depending like your relation to it.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I agree. I think the location element is again, probably twofold on both sides. Why Fort Worth probably wasn't going to have CrossFit back and why CrossFit wanted to go to a new location. I think no matter what, there's going to be a lingering effect. I think what your relationship is to the competition, ultimate, and your relationship to Lazar and the scenario specifically last year, like boots on the ground, will dictate to what extent that is, if that makes sense. No matter what, there's going to be a lingering effect on the competition side, because we saw that whole almost like dossier on heat related training get published.
Yeah.
You and I both know, Sean, from being, this is 16th year of the CrossFit Games for me. There's no way that dossier would have gotten made if what happened last year didn't happen. That right there is a lingering effect that I think will move forward, that ultimately resulted in change. I think for the athletes, obviously, like it's going to feel a little bit weird at first, right? The athletes that were super close to him, the athletes that maybe stepped aside mid-competition, getting back onto that competition floor. Well, I'm sure there'll be a lingering effect, because I think very few athletes, if any, look at CrossFit HQ, look at the leadership, look at the ramifications of competing in this sport at the highest level the same way anymore, right? Because I think, and this is from talking to a few athletes, the idea that you could get seriously injured during these events was always maybe something that of a possibility, but I don't know if the possibility of potentially dying was ever really real to them.
Yeah.
It is now.
Yeah.
And how much you acknowledge that is going to be individual to the athlete, but it certainly will have some level of effect, I think, in their minds, particularly, good, bad, or otherwise.
Yeah.
I think for the fans, I think it's going to be a completely mixed bag. I think Lauren brings a great point. If you're completely new to the sport, you might not have any clue, but we've had, people reach out on social and everything like that. I've had people that have supported us on Patreon be like, hey, I've been a long-time patron. My membership's ending this month just because I don't have the love for the sport anymore.
Yeah.
I still love the training. I just don't after what happened last year, I just don't have the love for the sport anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, they might, watch Instagram clips here or there. They might tune in for a little bit with their gym, but that changes the effect as well too. So it's such a big question. And if you really want to touch on all of it, it's almost an individual thing. And man, I'm really curious to see what the atmosphere amongst the media is going to be on boots on the ground too, because like Lauren, you remember that media room almost became, the people sitting in that media room, it became very familial in terms of like, hey, a lot of us are in shock right now. We need to kind of pick each other up. And I'm curious to see if that'll carry over, if it'll go back to the kind of territorial elements that you see in other events or in games past.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Will CrossFit secure a TV deal? That's a simple one. I just think the last time they didn't have one was 2019, right? Or did we? I really can't remember, because I remember I did the games for Rogue, and I can't remember if like CBS Sports Network picked it up and did like a post thing, but as far as like a live broadcast goes, I don't think we did that year.
Yeah, so that year I did the quote unquote broadcast for Morning Chalk Up, and CrossFit provided a world feed, which was like a very like bare bones, almost like it wasn't quite a clean feed where there was no graphics or anything. There were some basics on there, and then you got to manipulate it as needed for your own outlet or whatever that was. But I don't think there was a post. Buttery Bros had the documentary that year.
I don't think we did. I'm pretty sure we didn't do. God, I can't remember. I should remember this. But as far as being live, there wasn't.
No, there was not.
And then 2020, I know we were. I mean, I know we had a TV deal because I remember I received some CBS Sports Network signage that still is in my garage. That I don't know. I don't know if they have it. They know I have it or not. I'll just wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more.
Good for you, Sean.
Yeah. So I know we were on there, and then 21. Like every year since then, we've had one. Last year was kind of like last minute. It was we were on ESPN. Or no, wait. Was it last year on ESPN? It was. Yeah, last year was.
Last year was the last year of the ESPN
that's right,
deal.
because that happened in 23 at the.
And we know
the
even from
hour.
then, like that deal was made at the very last minute. So it's not surprising to me that we haven't heard about one yet. And if there was one, I think that they could probably go as late as a few days before.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't. Well,
so here, if it's going to be that, there would already be preparations underway, right? Like, Sean, you'll remember even when the ESPN deal wasn't across the finish line and they asked us to be a part of it, we were prepping everything as if there was going to be an ESPN deal.
Yeah, and it affects the schedule of events too. Like they have to schedule around certain broadcast windows and things like that. So I don't know, but yeah, that's a really good point, Tommy.
I would be very curious. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's.
I don't think they're going to this year. I don't think they are, and I don't know if that's a bad thing. It's okay. Like people are still going to watch on YouTube. They're still going to get big views on their channel. Like that's going to happen. So
I'm leaning that way. I'm leaning like there isn't, because I feel like we would have heard some sort of rumblings about it, because the ESPN deal did have a mutual option for an additional year that I think could have carried over to this year. If I remember correctly, but I don't think that was renewed. I'm also curious, like what that points to a bigger question of like ESPN and CBS were, I mean, easily the two best possible network partners you could ask for.
CBS was amazing when we were like in 2018. Like they were, that was great.
And so if I don't think at that level bridges are ever fully burned, but if they are, like, or if you're deemed like not a good commodity anymore by those networks, like where do you go?
What would you think about something like Paramount Plus?
CBS, isn't that CBS?
Yeah, it is CBS. So if they put it on streaming, yeah. I mean, I think honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like if they wound up on one of the major streaming platforms, actually I would equate that. I think that would be just as good as a network deal.
If I were them, I would reach out to Netflix yesterday, and Netflix is trying to get into the live sports game, rolling out a few things. I would say, hey, we've had documentaries that have done awesome on your platform. Let's do this, and also let's shoehorn, a multi-series, a multi-chapter documentary series on the back end.
Yeah, I think maybe that's something to look at in the future, but I just don't know if it's going to happen this year. And I think for fans, like if you're a hardcore fan, I don't think you care because you're going to watch it on the stream on YouTube anyway, right? Like, the reason why the TV passive deal is big is because you get new viewers and back in the day, it was like I watched this on ESPN. I thought it was cool. I went to a gym. It really is it's a good marketing tool. It's not detrimental to your fan base though, because they're going to watch anyway, regardless of where you put it.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. And this is sort of like the last big sort of meta question that we have. And that is, will we get any clarity on an impending sale? Because in the past, CrossFit has taken the games as an opportunity to break news. It was a couple years ago is when they introduced Dawn Fall. From what I know about this, they are not close to this being done. I know they had an initial round where they solicited offers from entities, and I am quite certain that at least I know of 2 for a fact who made it through. I'm quite certain there are more, but I can't confirm those. I'm sure there's more than 2, but I know of for a fact 2 that have moved on to the second round. So I don't think this thing is I don't think if you're thinking that we're going to get a big announcement of the games, I would be pretty surprised if we did. Anyone want to add to that, or are we just want to move on? Cause that's sort of
honestly, I kind of think that's pretty spot on, right? Like, I think a well executed games could help bolster CrossFit's case.
Agreed.
As a bargaining chip, if they can be like, hey, look, we did all this. Look at all the feedback. Look at all the engagement. Look at all this. Like, it sounds awful, but I'm putting myself in their shoes. But they want to show to some extent that they've been able to move through or past this tragedy, right? So
yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have press conferences and people will get asked about that, but I don't expect there to be anything.
I will say it does, and this is kind of a separate note, but it does feel like there's less communication than past years actually, because in the past, you sign your media agreement, but what that all entails, when and where the press conferences are. And I get we're still 2 weeks out, but I mean, we haven't even seen a vendor deck of what brands are going to be there. I feel like at this point, there should be more communication based on past trends.
Have you, because you're going on a press pass, right? Because it's in your backyard. What information have you gotten?
None. I've been approved for a media pass, and I inquired, what that all entails. And, the biggest thing I want is athlete interviews. Is there an enhanced media credential I need to apply for? Is there certain access I need to be, under the tunnel to grab athletes? And I heard nothing. I then followed up and they said they'll get back to me. And I mean, that was, 2 weeks ago. So,
okay.
It's just a shame people spend all of this money to go and work, and you don't even know if you'll get the access you need until who knows.
Yeah. When. And even then it seems like it has, and I know I want to give them credit. They try to organize it as best that they can, but there's just it's such a free for all down there that stuff falls through the cracks that they can't control.
And I get it. Yeah. There's a lot of moving pieces, but it's just,
Yep.
Luckily, I'm a 2-hour drive and didn't have to book a flight.
Nice. There you go.
So,
all right. Well, let's move on to some competition related stuff. That is, so first question, how many events do you think they're going to be? Because we're just going, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? 3 days. Mm-hmm. There will be, 12 is going to be the max. You do 4 events a day.
That would be, you think they're going to do 4 events a day?
I do. I think 12 is a good number. Especially if they cut down, because they can jam a lot in on that final day.
They normally end at like 4 p.m. So do you think it's going to be a full day on Sunday?
I would set the line at 10.
You think 10?
And I think 10's a push. I think
really?
like 10, maybe 11 max.
All right. I think 12 makes sense. You get 4 events a day.
I'm going to bet the under and say 9.
9?
Whoa. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I'm going over. I'm going over the 10. The 10 and a half. No pushing.
10 and a half. 15.
Typically 3 a day for the games is pretty standard.
Fewer people.
Yeah.
More time. Just saying.
Right,
yeah.
but then if they, I mean, just thinking of the broadcast crew, if they make those days too long and people get overtime, that's more money.
That's a good point. That is actually a very good point. I did not consider that. That's
now you're thinking.
The price tag goes up the longer the days are for the TV crew.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that's a good one.
Thank you.
You may have, I might have to reconsider my 12.
I expected that answer from you, Sean. Not from
that's
me.
That's a really good point. Maybe 10. All right, 10 seems realistic.
Now the under.
Now I'm going under 10 and a half. Yeah, because it comes down to that. Yeah, it does. You're 100%.
And I get it. I don't fault them for that. Like
I don't
you
either.
gotta stop losing money and you gotta find a way to do it, especially with this sale. And you gotta get people excited and you want people to stick around and watch and everything. And
look, you could have a good test. You could have a great test with 10 events.
Yeah,
you really can. Like, all right, I think 10's right.
I would think 3 events a day. And you could even have one of them as like a 2-parter, a 2-scored test.
Make it 11.
Test event. I don't know what we're back at.
I think we're back to event. Yeah, because an individual event, i.e. O2. Individual O2.
I think test was only 1 year, and it screws me up now.
Yeah.
In the wise words of Kevin from the TV show The Office, I believe he says, why waste time? Say lot word when few do trick. He basically decides to cut short his language, but it speaks to the programming element. Like, there is such thing as a minimum effective dose.
Mm-hmm.
If you can legitimately prove the CrossFit Games champion fittest on earth in 10 events, is 12 necessary?
Yeah, well, that means Tia is only going to need 8 to wrap it up.
I mean, she just needs to, step onto the competition floor and make sure that she's healthy.
All right, so let's go to the men's side. And Tommy, this is when you came up with, and I like this. Is this the start of a new era for the elite men? And a lot of this has to do with who is emerging on that side, and also a lot has to do with who's not there this year.
Mm-hmm. We had a completely brand new podium, or from previous years, or from the previous year, I should say. And even if you go a step below that, with like guys like Hopper, who were just a spot off of the podium, and you kind of look at that because the third place guy, Brent Fikowski, is now retired. So he naturally fills the gap. Is this going to be a continued trend? Because you have Sprague, Pepper, Hopper, part of this new contingent, all with Brute right now, all that. It seems like they're at the forefront of both the social media element of it, as well as like competing and being out there quite a bit. Is this where we see the end of the Fikowski, the Vellners, the BKGs, those guys? And does this continue? Or does someone who's kind of bridged the gap a little bit between those two, I would say those two groups, and someone like Jeff Adler and Justin Medeiros, do they come back and reestablish themselves? Jeff obviously didn't finish the games last year. doesn't seem like he's slowing down one bit. I think there's certainly something to prove in terms of like, hey, you were just keeping the seat warm for me kind of scenario.
Yeah.
And also like Dallin, it sounds weird to say because I think what James has done since then in his competitive history and performance when he's healthy has kind of added some legitimacy, I think, in the minds of some people as far as him winning. But someone said this after the games, and it almost felt like Dallin in second felt more legitimate than James in first.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were ready for Dallin to be a podium athlete before they were ready for James to be one. Yeah, and that's not fair to that's not fair to James whatsoever.
No. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, just because of like where the trends were.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this makes this year on the men's side very intriguing, right? Like, does Jeff, does some of these other guys kind of punch back? And
Ricky's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Roman's going to be there.
Yeah.
And this might be a question that we put in for our buy or sell, but do you guys think it's more likely that we see a repeat winner for the men or a new winner for the men?
I'm still going to stick with Mike. Well, I think Adler is still the favorite. I'd still go with him. I don't think you can take much away from, obviously he wasn't there. But yeah, I think he's still a guy.
I would too. I think Austin Hatfield feels like
that's yes. Okay. Put a pin in that. Cause that's going to be a buy or sell.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah. Let's
he feels like, so I used to call Paul Tremblay the human hand grenade. Because he would finish like first or second in like 3 events and then like 30th, 35th in the other events.
Mm-hmm.
So he would just be there to like knock a couple out of the park and just blow up the leaderboard and shake things up. I even told him that his like catchphrase should be "pull the pin."
Yeah, it's awesome.
And we've had a few good chuckles about that over the years. In a very different way, I think Austin Hatfield can be kind of be that guy, but not necessarily just for a few events, but like win.
Yep,
kind of scenario.
That's it. Again, they'll preview a buy or sell. Because I wanted to put this question in.
Okay.
If Austin Hatfield winds up with a medal around his neck, I'm not going to be shocked at all.
Nope.
Not in the least. So just a little preview there. All right.
A little teaser.
Yeah. All right. Over to the women's side. This is our last one. Who's going to join Tia on the podium? Because it's, to me, this women's competition it's like when Tiger Woods was doing his thing. It's Tiger versus the field. It's Tia versus the field. I will take Tia every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I think it's a foregone conclusion that she's going to win. Now who's going to join her on the podium? And
to kind of take that analogy further, it was almost like Tiger's going to take one of the majors.
Yeah.
Who has a shot to snag one of the other three or other two that are going to be up for grabs?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. But
I don't know. I don't know who. I mean, I think Danielle Brandon's got a chance.
What did you say?
I think Danielle Brandon's got a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I think to not talk about Ariel Lowen when she's been on the podium before,
agreed,
would be a disservice to her. So I would be more shocked to not see her on the podium. And I mean, I think DB's got a good shot. I would actually Alexis Raptis.
See, this is where I thought your question around the men. Are we more likely to see two new podium finishers alongside Tia or a repeat?
Ooh. Put a pin in that. It would be a good buy or sell too.
Yeah, because I think this is, in theory, there are some favorites, athletes who have been there, who've been in that position, have been sniffing around the podium, and athletes, an athlete like Ariel Lowen who has been on the podium.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there is a lot of opportunity for, a couple of new women to come from the top rope and, give them the old elbow.
I agree. Yeah, but mom's going to do her thing, and then all the kids behind her are going to try to figure out, who's second in line. Like that's
Don't sleep on Amy Kringle or Lucy.
I'm not. I think it's going to be a great battle. I think especially in spots 2 through 6 are going to be great. It's going to be fun to watch. But let's not pretend that there's going to be look, if there is an exciting, stranger things have happened, right? Stranger things have happened at the games. Maybe Tia stumbles on a crossover like she did a single under and she puts herself in a hole. And if there's fewer events,
I don't think that's ever happening again.
I don't think it is either. I'm just saying it could happen.
Yes.
There's
always a chance.
Playing devil's advocate, trying to, argue against myself. But I don't know. I think it's just like she's there to kick ass and cash a check. Kick ass and chew bubblegum, and she's all out of bubblegum. Anyone know that movie? Of course, Lauren doesn't.
A Rowdy Piper.
That's correct. In John Carpenter's.
I always mess it up. Is it Amongst Them or
no, They Live?
No. They Live. Yes.
Yeah, one of the longest fight scenes in the history of the world too. In that movie.
I just remember like they do the point of view through his glasses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, well, those are our top questions heading into the CrossFit Games. And then, of course, next week we'll do buy or sell for either the men or the women, and then the following week, the other one. And then we're going to be in Albany.
Hopefully have some guests for those.
Yeah, we're efforting that. Do we have any community support we need to get to?
I do, actually. Right. Let me grab it real quick. Okay, so this was from our friend on Instagram at Clo.
Mm-hmm.
She said, this coming weekend at CrossFit Wanderlust in Bali, we are doing a 48-hour workout challenge.
Oof.
Starting Friday at 4 p.m., we will do a workout every 4 hours for 48 hours. So throughout 2 nights. In a country of over 280 million people, there stands out one startling statistic. Only one psychiatrist per 300,000 people. Mental health in Indonesia is a taboo subject, and the terminology or language falls short of even identifying such a subject. There is literally no translation for mental health in Indonesia. Wow. Millions of residents face challenges of depression, anxiety, and other mental illness. They have no idea what's happening. They have no ability to reach professional help and a lack of understanding. This fundraiser is raising funds directly to support the locals through 2 charities, Bali Bersama Bisa, the only nonprofit mental health center in Bali, Shuffle and Strides. It's an event, so it prevents mental health crises through educating, providing an open space for communication and support for early intervention, both in Indonesian and an Australian charity. So, we would love to support that. Registration is still available for everyone to participate in the workouts remotely as well. There is a individual link for Clo. It is donorbox.org /Clodog. So CLODAGH -Cronin, CRONIN -mental-health-smasher 2025. Nice. The name of the event is the Mental Health Smasher 2025. You can also find it online if you Google the 4x48 Mental Health Smasher. You can find the fundraising page and the 2 events that support it. Again, that's Shuffles and Strides and Bali Bersama Bisa. You can support both of those directly as well. So, an awesome cause. You can check out the CrossFit Wanderlust Bali page as well for more information. Dave Driscoll has a video of him and another member from the crew there explaining it all. Definitely check it out. They're good people out there. They've been I would say a really cool part of this community for a long time, and they're doing something really good.
Cool. If you guys have any community support that you want us to help you get the word out on, send it to either our personal Instagram pages, send it to our Talking Elite Fitness Instagram. Please send all the details that you possibly can, because we want to make sure that we are getting people to go to the right spot to get the people the help that they need. PRs, no reps. I don't think I have a no rep. I definitely have a PR, and I know Lauren's got a PR. So how about this? Lauren, just go ahead and PR your your Backstreet Boys or whoever, they're new kids.
Are you trying to rush me because I have a story?
No, not at all. You have a story. Okay, tell the story. Okay. It's going to look like I'm zoning out, but I'm really interested.
Okay, it's like when you and Tommy talk about movies. It's fine. The tables are turning now. Yes. Here we go. Send some emails. Do a to-do list. Whatever you need. So, honestly, it doesn't even matter what concert you go to. Every single person, I don't care who you are, what music you like, you need to experience the Sphere.
That I've heard.
Because that is the most like. I would love if we could get an interview with whoever creates like the graphics and makes them happen in the Sphere. Because the fact that they had a 25 song set list, and it was like, I told Tommy, watching MTV hits, but also live at the same time, looking down all the way over your head. It was the coolest thing ever. And these late 40, early 50-year-old men have not missed a beat. And the way that they are aging, it's like fine wine. They are beautiful inside and out, and I love them.
Well, okay. You know what? Good, because I'm in that age group. That takes me back to high school. There
band. You go, Sean.
I mean, who'd you see? Backstreet Boys or the new? I get those. The new kids.
Yeah, you're about to say NKOTB.
NKOTB, right? Is that what they are now? I remember when they rebranded.
No.
It's like, no, that
Lance Bass from NSYNC showed up on opening night to support his.
Good.
Used to be like his competitor, but now he's out there, doing the work, giving them some support, cheering them on. Love to see it.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I know that the Sphere is quite the experience that I've heard from people. But
amazing.
So I don't think any bands that I like are ever going to be playing at the Sphere, so whatever.
You never know.
No, I probably do know. Like, it's not going to be Gwar at the Sphere. Like, that ain't going to happen.
Dude, that would actually, Gwar would be awesome. That would be amazing. That would be like,
that is the craziest show I've ever been to.
I feel like I'd be surprised if Rob Zombie didn't figure out a way to do
that'd
something
be awesome.
And like tied like a film that he helped produce
really
into
cool.
it, But
really cool. All right. Well, PR to the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere.
Love it.
Yep.
Go see it, everybody.
If you're a single guy my age, like, that's a target-rich environment, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a millennial and you're a dude and you're looking for a girlfriend, go to the Sphere for Backstreet Boys.
Well, you'll be a little young if you're a millennial. Like
that's mostly what the crowd was.
Was it really?
Millennial.
God.
Yeah, Sean.
Okay. I guess new kids are kind of first.
To be fair, Sean, I think millennials are up to like 42, 43 now.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Tommy, you got a PR?
Yeah, I do. I got two. I'm going to PR Kyle Schwarber, a.k.a. Hitting Dingers. If anyone watched the All-Star game for baseball last night, they had a new format where it was a swing off instead of extra innings.
That's great.
And three managers pick three players, 3 swings for each player. Whoever has the most home runs at the end wins. Kyle Schwarber, who's a fan favorite around the league, just steps up and goes Yabo 3 for 3, hits 3 home runs and wins it for the NL. My other PR is going to go out to a member from my gym, Kelsey Kearns, who is following a new minor passion of hers. She started a little bakery business called Pirate Pantry.
Ooh.
I will give her a shout out. She does weekly deliveries at our gym, and my first order involved some protein bagels and some sourdough-based chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sourdough chocolate chip cookies are so good.
Mm-hmm. So,
oh my God.
Big props, Kelsey. Appreciate it. I'll be putting in my order for next week.
Nice. Okay, well, my PR, I'm going to just PR Pixar, and specifically their new movie, Elio. I think it's Elio.
Oh, Elio, yeah.
Fantastic. Great flick. Dude, I don't know what it is. Like, I guess becoming a dad, the last 2 Pixar movies I've gone to, it's like, the tears start. And this one is no different. This one is amazingly good. It's entertaining. I took my son. He loved it. We had a great time. I was like over there, doing this the whole time. It was good. And Pixar just knows how to make a really fun, good, entertaining movie that the kids like, but it will connect, like, especially now being a dad. There's a couple moments of Tommy is like, oh, that you watch, and it's hits on a whole new level. So go see it. You'll enjoy it.
Yep.
Fun for the kids
and cry.
Yeah,
I've actively avoided Finding Nemo since.
Dude, right?
Oh,
there's movies now.
My son's been born.
The Lion King. Ugh. Yeah, that one hits differently too. Okay, enough of that. We got 2 weeks to go before the CrossFit Games. So next week we're going to do buy or sell. We'll do 2 more editions of our show, and then we'll be CrossFit Games. Lauren's going to be there on site. It's going to be a lot of fun. So batten down the hatches. I can't believe we're almost there.
Crazy.
Going to be a
Where
good
did time go?
Time. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks to our sponsors, Victory Grips, victorygrips.com. The code is TEF. You can save 15% on their new Conquer grips. It's like cheating. You should go get some. And also Balance of Nature, balanceofnature.com. TEF is also the code. 35% off on your first purchase, and a free tub of their fiber and spice supplement. So big thanks to them for supporting the show. Big thanks to you again for listening and watching. For Tommy Marquez and Lauren Khalil, I'm Sean Woodland. Take care of each other, be better, and we will talk to you guys next time.
1, 2, 3, go! Like a kiss at the start of a first date. If it's good, it's good. I don't want to wait. When the feeling's right, I'm taking every